I've been looking at this book for a while now, and finally decided I had to buy it, particularly since I wanted something interesting to put on my YouTube channel. I thought, oh, I can do book reviews. So this is called Sew in Style, Make Your Own Doll's Clothes by Erin Hentzel. And she's got several books, but this is her Learn to Sew book, and I really think it's a worthwhile purchase. I love this book. I wish I was 10 again so I could learn how to sew for a book like this. I can remember in my primary school days making lots of little hand sewing things in class. I think having a book like this would have made so much more fun. It's really great, straightforward for young or old. If you're learning to sew, I think it's a fabulous book to teach you some really basic things, and the little projects make it so much fun. So it's straightforward enough for, say, 12-year-olds to work on their own in mum's sewing room or grandma's sewing room. With a friend maybe, it would be really good fun, and because the steps are sort of easy enough for children to follow. If you've got a younger child, it will be perfect for a parent to work with the child. I think it's really nice. The photos in each step make it really good for showing a young child how to do something. So each section has step-by-step photos. So this is in the How to Sew basic section, and the projects are the same. So that all the projects have the little step-by-step photos as well. So each one has nice step-by-step photos. There's also there's hand sewing and there's machine sewing basics, which I thought was really good. So page 21. So in the first section on how to sew, it's got the basics of the sewing machine. So this is where the 12-year-old will be able to work through some sewing machine practice as well. The paper bag looks and feels lovely, and will make a great gift because it's just feels really nice and looks, it's well made, so it would make a really good gift. Let me see. Okay, since sewing is such a hands-on skill, the little projects are just so inspiring to encourage the child to keep on sewing and keep learning more. So I think it's a great way to teach sewing with the really cute practical skills for the doll. I think it would make a perfect homeschooling textbook too. So if you're wanting to do some craft stuff with your child for homeschooling, this would be a really good book. And I think even in school for primary school, I don't know what they call it in the US, but 7, 8, 9, I think it would make a really good textbook for schools. So, because I think making the little doll's clothes would be so much fun. Let me see. All right, I like how each project has a list at the top of not just the materials, but also what you would learn. So this one is what you'll need, and this one are the skills you'll learn, which I think is a really good idea. And that has the page numbers. It refers back to the page numbers in the basic chapter, so you can easily go back and check up on the basic skills because it lists them here and the page number that you need to go to. Okay, now if you wanted to impress upon your child the importance of reading, This is also a really good book. The step-by-step sections show you exactly how to make something, and you need to be able to read to follow the directions. You read the directions, you do the skills, you come out with an end product that you can be proud of. And I think without the having to tell the children how important reading is, I think they can just work that out by knowing that they have to read the instructions to get the end product that is a perfect fit for their doll. The physical book is really well made, as I said. The pages are thick and glossy, really nice. So they're not going to tear with constant use, and they look really pretty. All the instructions have colour photos and numbered steps. So if we look at page 42, okay, so page 42, you can see there are the simple steps for the top, step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on. And I like the way they're nicely spaced out with page space between them. It just makes it easier to read. And all the colour photos are really clear and easy to understand. Sorry, I'm reading what I need to say. The back and front covers have little flaps, which I think was a good idea. So you can just add a little bit of sticky tape here, and you could save your pattern pieces inside the book. So that would sort of keep it together. The same with the back. The back has the little flap, and also has this little bookmark that you can cut off and use to bookmark skills in the first chapter, so you can easily flip back to it. So I thought that was a really good idea. These are the pattern sheets. There's 3 pattern sheets, and they're perforated so you can sort of pull them out. And each one has the patterns printed only on one side. So you just cut these out and use them, which I think is really a good thing. Those sheets you get in the magazines that are printed double-sided are almost impossible to use, but this is really easy. I love it. Okay, what else I like is that each page has sort of a decorative picture on it, a little border, so on both sides. So this one has little stars and moons. Then there's twirly balloons, I think these are. Okay, so each project has different little things, flowers. I just think that looks really nice and inviting for a child. At the bottom of the outside corner of the pages, it tells you, this one is the flounce skirt project, so it tells you here. And for another project, so this is the party dress project, so you can easily like flip through the pages and quickly get to whatever project you want. Projects themselves are simple, as you would expect for a how to sew book, but they cover or they can be used to make lots of different little outfits. So the thing that I sort of checked almost as soon as I got the book was that it would lay flat on your sewing table and not sort of go closed again. So whatever page you're at, it's possible to just have it laying on your sewing table and the pages don't close up, which is important if you're trying to follow the instructions and sew at the same time. It's nice to see the girls on the cover having fun with their dolls. I think any child who got this as a gift would sort of think, ooh, this looks really good, and be really keen to get started. And the same inside, there's lots of pictures of the girls going places with their dolls. Let me see. So here's playing with their dolls. Let's see. Oh, this one is just hanging around. So I think the photos with the girls are really inviting for children. There's nothing really negative that I can say about this book. The basic instructions for each project are in the front. So I suppose you could say that it might be a little bit awkward to flip back to the basic instructions each time you do a project, but I don't think it's anything that I would say would detract from the positive aspect of the book. Also, if you're looking to make dolls' clothes, if you can sew and you want to make dolls' clothes, this is not the book that you buy. This is for someone who is new to sewing and would like to have nice projects in order to learn to sew. So if you want something particular or fancy for your doll and you can sew, you'd be better off buying the individual patterns that you can find in different places rather than this one. There's other books by the same author that would probably be okay for making different kinds of dresses and things. So I think this is a learn to sew book for children or for adults who haven't done any sewing before. So in summary, we've got full colour photos, heavy practical pages. It's attractive and inviting, lots of simple projects to practice on, step-by-step instructions with photos, basic skills are in the separate chapter, stays open on the page that you want, great for a gift, great for an adult to use with a young child or for older children to use on their own. So I think this is, if you want a gift for your child or grandchild, this would be just perfect. At the same time that I bought the physical book, I also bought the Kindle book because I wanted to see how it compared. It's half the price, the Kindle book. It's probably just as good as the physical book for looking at the instructions, and you can download the pattern pieces and print them out, which is really handy. So you have more than one set of pattern pieces. So if the ones in the book get damaged or torn, the Kindle book has the digital link, which is really handy. They just come on A4, or I think it's A4 pages you just print out, and you need to sort of take the pieces together on some of the bigger ones. But I found the Kindle book had live links back to the basic instructions. So when you're in a project, it said you need these skills and it's on page such and such, and when you click on that link it took you back to that page. On my iPad it's full colour, looks just as good as the book, and you can I would say if you can afford it, I would buy the book and the Kindle version, especially if you want to give the book as a gift. You can give the book to a different household as a gift, keep the Kindle on your iPad for yourself, and when your children or grandchildren are working in the same room, they can use the iPad version rather than the book if they keep the book somewhere else. So that's, I don't think there's a lot of downside to having the Kindle version, except that I can't share my Kindle version with another household unless they have my password for my Kindle books. So that's probably one downside to the Kindle version, is you can't just gift it to someone else. That's why I would probably suggest you buy the book if you're going to gift it to someone else, and you buy your Kindle version so that when those children come to visit, you can still teach them how to sew. So Kindle versus paperback, pretty much the same, but you can gift the paperback and you can't gift the Kindle version. So that's why I would recommend buying them both. I love sharing things with my audience because I just have so much that I'd like to let you know what I'm doing and how to do it and how you can do it yourself. But I've also got to think about when I'm really old and can't sew anymore, how am I going to keep up my pocket money? So I've signed up to Amazon affiliate program. So I would really appreciate if you're interested in this book that you go and have a look on Amazon through my link. I've put my affiliate link in the description for this video, and I think it's the Amazon price is pretty competitive, and so I would appreciate it if you could use my link.